So there's something I see all the time. People who have worked on themselves, who have read, who have been to therapy, who understands what's happening to them. And still they keep repeating the same patterns. Anxiety, self-sabotage, insecurity, doubt, over control. Not because they don't want to change, but because they're working at the wrong level. This is not an effort problem. This is not a discipline problem. And many times, it's not even an awareness problem. It's a root problem. And in this video, I want to show you exactly that. Why you can understand yourself perfectly and still stay stuck in the same pattern. So most people try to fix what they feel. Anxiety, self-sabotage, insecurity, overthinking, need for control. And all of that is real. You feel it. You live it. You struggle with it. But here's what matters. What you feel is not always the problem. Many times it's the symptom. And this changes everything. Because when you only work on the symptom, two things happen. Either it improves for a while or it changes form, but it comes back. Maybe it's no longer constant anxiety, but now it's overthinking. Maybe it's no longer obvious self-sabotage, but now it's doubt. Maybe it's no longer insecurity, but now it's perfectionism. And it starts to feel like you have many different problems. But in reality, it may be the same pattern showing up in different ways. This is where a lot of people get stuck. Because there comes a point where you understand everything. You know where it comes from. You know why it happens. You know what triggers it. You can explain it perfectly. And still, you're in it. And that's frustrating because you start asking, if I already understand it, why isn't it changing? And here's the answer. Because understanding does not necessarily transform. Understanding lives in the mind. But most of these patterns don't live in the conscious mind. They exist in a different layer, more automatic, deeper, older. That's why you can have clarity and still have repetition. A subconscious pattern is not abstract. It's a strategy, a way your mind learned to protect you. At some point, it made sense. For example, control. You learned that if you control, you're safe. So now you struggle to let go. Self-sabotage. You learn that growth can be risky. So you hold yourself back right when you're about to expand. Insecurity. You learn that being yourself was not always safe. So you doubt, compare, adjust. Overachievement. You learn that your value depends on what you do. So nothing ever feels enough. Overthinking. You learned that thinking protects you. So you say in your head and nothing changes underneath. And here's the key. Your mind is not broken. It's repeating what it learned works. It looks like this. You know what to do, but you don't do it. Not because you don't want to, but because a part of you stops you. Everything is fine, but your body can't relax. Your body is still on alert. You have proof that you can, but you still doubt. You achieve things, but you don't feel enough. You start motivated, and then you fall back. And if you look closely, all of this has something in common. It's not lack of capability, it's repetition. Repetition of an internal logic that hasn't changed. And this is where everything shifts. Because most people try more tools, more control, more discipline, but that doesn't change the root. The root changes when you work on the association, the programming, the automatic response, not just what you think, not just what you understand, but from where you're operating. And this matters. It's not about doing more. It's about working differently. Because as long as the root stays intact, the pattern adapts, but it doesn't disappear. If something here resonated with you, you're probably not at the beginning. You've already done work on yourself, and that changes the conversation because now you don't need more content. You need to identify which pattern is still active in you and start working from there, not to manage it better, but to stop repeating it if you want. In the next step, I can show you how to identify that pattern and what to actually do with it.